No longer exists. Colossal Biosciences Dire Wolf Project. A lot of you guys were spamming this in the video suggestion tab. Apparently, scientists have brought back an extinct wolf that has been gone for thousands of years.
The howl of a dire wolf hasn't been heard on planet Earth for more than 10,000 years. That's because the species is extinct, or was. Colossal Biosciences is a Dallas-based company that's using genetic engineering to de-extinct long-gone species. And this is the first time Colossal's dire wolf pups, who are...
How the fuck do they do that, though? I don't want to sound like a dumbass. How do you bring back a fucking dead species? Just changing the DNA code of current wolves? Then it's not really bringing back the species, though, is it? It's like changing a wolf to mimic. It's a mimic. It's a clone. It's mimicking what a dire wolf was, but it's still coming from an actual wolf. Doesn't that mean they could do this with humans?
Hey Ben, it's Jeff Kluger from Time Magazine. A pleasure to meet you.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about what the goal is for de-extincting and rewilding ultimately. Why are you doing this work?
It became abundantly clear that we need new tools and technologies for conservation. And so we thought this was a really cool way that we could create value, create impact, inspire people, and then also hopefully thoughtfully
Inspire people? Just say you want to bring back a dead fucking species. What the fuck are you inspiring me? I'm not watching this video going, huh, I feel like I could get a lot done today. I feel like I'm gonna have a great day. I'm gonna go maybe get another workout in because they brought back you hear they bring back the dire wolf? I just hit a fat ass lift because of it, dude. Maybe inspire people to get more into gene editing. I just feel like do you guys support this? I don't dislike it, but I feel like it's gonna go down a long rocky road to where we start editing human DNA very drastically to fit some sort of like narrative that everybody wants to follow, which I think could be bad. I don't want to say it's like playing God because we're not going to get into the whole like Joe Bart doesn't really believe in God thing, but in the same sense, it's if the species goes extinct and it doesn't have to do with human involvement, skill diff. Survival of the fittest. Your species is poorly fit for survival. And I'm not talking about like broad, human involvement where we're killing an environment and therefore we're killing that species. I get trying to bring back those animals because we fucked them up. We went into their environment, took their food, took their shit, and ruined their potential chances for survival. And hell, maybe humans 10,000 years ago did that to dire wolves. But if dire wolves just naturally kind of thinned out of existence and like kind of, left that spot open for other species, why are we bringing them back? Like dodos? Well, dodos, I don't know. I think it makes more sense to bring back non-predatory animals so we could kill them. Because if we could bring back dodos and then use them to, like, farm meat, I get that. But why bring back a wolf? Like an extinct wolf? That's a more solid argument. That's evil. I don't know. I feel like it makes more sense to bring back a dead species of animal that was like a really fat, slow bird that produced a lot of meat, that was lean and healthy, and you kind of just fucking farm raise them and then just fucking kill them and eat them, versus bringing back a wolf that doesn't really have any place in the wild anymore.
species, which apparently will also have ecological benefits to these different potential ecosystems.
They gotta be gene editing humans in other countries. If they're doing this to wolves now, if they're able to basically full copy an extinct animal from the knowledge they have of its bone structure and DNA chains, They have to be doing this they have to be doing this to humans.
Colossal needed to understand dire wolves at a genetic level. The company has documented the process from the beginning and shared this footage with Time for a cover.
Would you not do gene editing on yourself? I would assume that would be something that would have to be done in the womb, but I don't know. I think gene editing for humans to eliminate potential health hazards is good. I think if you're able to eliminate a gene in a newborn baby that will prevent them from having cancer or heart disease or obesity, or like enable them to have a better chance at survival, I think that's good. But when you get to the gene editing aspect of picking specific physical traits, that is going to cause a disruption in what is prized, and it will make like racism and those things way worse, because rich people will be able to choose what they want their kids to look and be like. It's eugenics, but it's eugenics on a way different level. Eugenics is like in the United States, at least, was the forced sterilization of people that they deemed unfit to breed. Meaning they thought you weren't good enough to have a kid, so we're going to make it so you can't have kids. Now, I think it's getting into eugenics in just selecting what you want your kid to be like. This is Ramus. He's the dire wolf, first to exist in over 10,000 years, and dangerous species could be changed forever.
So can you tell me a little bit about what went into engineering the dire wolf?
We extracted DNA from 2 fossils that we knew from previous work had some amount of preserved ancient DNA. One was a 13,000-year-old bone, and the other was a 72,000-year-old bone, an inner ear bone. We were able to generate 2 genomes, 2 direwolf genome sequences from that, which we then compared to all the other wolves for which there's already been data generated. And when we do that, we want to figure out where it is that these 2 dire wolves are similar to each other, but different from the other wolves that are out there. And so we come up with this list of genes where they're distinct.
And then they have to go and fucking hand splice those genes, like those DNA chains.
Now, our goal in the Dire Wolf Project, just like with all de-extinction projects, is to re-engineer the core traits, the core characteristics that made these extinct species unique and able to fill whatever role that they filled in their ecosystems when they were still alive.
Using this knowledge, Colossal then made 20 modifications to 14 genes in the DNA of common gray wolf cells. These relatively few tweaks to the genetic code produced some big differences. The dire wolf's white coat, large size, characteristic vocalizations like that howling you heard at the beginning of the story, and more. That DNA was transferred to denucleated egg cells, meaning cells without their own.
All right, I'm behind this if we bring back miniature elephants. I'm behind this if we bring back miniature elephants. If I could have a pet elephant, that would be fire. But that would be it. That would be all I would want. Would be a little elephant, like he like opens your door with his trunk and goes, "Arr!" Like imagine that. My elephant walks into the room right now and I have to address the elephant in the room. But his actual name, what would I name him? Bertram the elephant. And I would give him a top hat.
And then developed into embryos and were then implanted in the wombs of surrogate mothers, who were hound mixed dogs.
We didn't know how big these embryos would grow and wanted to make sure that the surrogate was healthy. So we picked large dogs.
Romulus and Remus, named after the Roman mythological twin brothers who were raised by a wolf, were born on October 1st, 2024. And in January, they were joined by a younger...
I'd be worried, bro. You're bringing back... You're basically gene editing a wolf to create something that's like effectively a genetic copy of a dire wolf. Do you know how it's going to act?
Her sister that the Colossal team named...
In its puppy stages, it's not scary, but like as it ages, you don't know if it'll attack you.
Khaleesi. Each wolf is on track to grow to as large as 6 feet long and 150 pounds. Colossal isn't planning to reintroduce them to the wild. Instead, the 3 dire wolves will live out their lives on a fenced 2,000-acre preserve. Colossal does not want to disclose this location in order to protect the animals.
I think these are the luckiest animals ever. They will live their entire life on this protected ecological reserve where they have all sorts of space and they have natural denning environment and they have a inclement weather hut that they can go and hide out in if they need to. They have 24-hour veterinary care.
Dire wolves aren't the only species on Colossal's de-extinction agenda.
An American company says it has...
What else are we gonna bring back? What else are we gonna bring? I don't know. I don't think that the whole idea of bringing back specific animals is wrong if there's like a purpose for them to come back. I think the dire wolf is just an experiment because it was something they're easily, more capable of doing because their genes are already so similar to current wolves. But why would we bring back like a mammoth? Why? Mammoth rats? What are mammoth rats? Why would we bring back a woolly mammoth? What is the purpose in bringing back a woolly mammoth or dinosaurs or anything? Like just even watching Jurassic Park. Like what the fuck would be the purpose in bringing that back? I'm telling you it's going to be meat. I'm telling you it's going to be meat. That's what I was just saying with dodo birds. Bring back dodo birds, just fucking put them in a field and let them have sex, reproduce and kill them.
genetically engineered mice so that they have...
Like, I'm not saying that that's moral, but I'm saying that has a genuine, like, I understand why you would bring them back. You know what I mean? If you're going, I'm bringing dodo birds back because they would be a great food source.
Genetically engineered mice so that they have developed some traits like mammoths.
A small but potentially
Like a woolly mammoth? What do you mean?
important step in a quest to eventually bring back the prehistoric woolly mammoth.
What? What? Wait, they're trying to gene edit a rat into a woolly mammoth? What do you mean? What do you mean?
Step
How does a mouse have a woolly
in a
mammoth?
quest to eventually bring back the prehistoric woolly mammoth.
They hope to de-extinct the woolly mammoth as early as 2028. The company is also hoping to bring back the dodo and the Tasmanian tiger.
See, okay, no, dodo bird I get. Why are we bringing back the Tasmanian tiger?
If some of this genetic tinkering feels familiar,
How big was a dodo bird? Because I'd get it if they're like, yeah, we could just kill dodo birds. Yo, imagine we're eating dodo bird in 10 years. What do you think dodo bird tastes like? Chicken. Probably like chicken. Probably like every other. Like, that's like so many foods just taste like chicken. I feel like it would be like turkey. I feel like it'd be dry. Dodo bird weight. Dodo birds weighed between 29 and 51 pounds. What? The dodo bird was bigger than a turkey. See, chat? Good food source. Good food source. What did a dodo bird taste like? If they somehow answer this, how did somebody on Reddit answer this? Dodo birds were particularly not tasty. Oh, sailors wrote about it. Sailors frequently fed on wildlife, and it is said that dodo bird meat's not good. Okay, then why would we bring them back?
it's because Hollywood has been here first. And spoiler alert, we all know that didn't end well. So naturally, bioethicists have some
All
concern.
right, but let's not compare. Let's not. But we've seen this in Hollywood, and naturally, bioethicists have some concerns. Okay, the difference between bringing back the T-Rex, though, and the dodo bird are two drastically different things.
Here, when you're playing with nature, nature usually wins. Nature is much more complicated than the ability of our brains to understand it. Genes do many things. There may be a lot of unintended consequences.
I think that if we're going to bring back animals, they can't be released into the wild. Unless you have, like, a very, very, like, tight-knit, proven process that is experimented on. Because if you look at when other species get brought into habitats, like lionfish in Florida, they kill reefs, right? Like, if you reefs. If you bring animals into environments they're not normally, like, in, or even ones they used to be a part of but now are no longer a part of, the adaptation to that environment has changed so much to where they'd either just dominate the species or immediately die. And both of those are bad.
Let's say we alter a gene to make extra hair or to make it burn metabolism more, burn fat more. Those genes may do other things in ways that we just don't even understand. So we may create animals that have lots of medical problems. If we start tinkering with genes...
I mean, we already do that with dogs. It's not gene editing, but it's like selective breeding. You could see that within dogs. Like, we've watched multiple videos about how dogs have so many health problems because we just fucking breed them to look like what we want them to.
We may create a super mouse, a super rat that kills all the other animals around.
Oh my God, something bigger than a New York City rat?
But the team at Colossal says their mission to restore extinct species is also about stopping the disappearance of endangered ones today, as experts predict.
That I don't think is bad. That's what I was saying though. If we're killing off animals that naturally live in an environment and are a part of an ecosystem, and you're going, hey, we need to like make more of these.
Colossal has used techniques learned from the Dire Wolf Project to clone 4 red wolves, a small but important step in fortifying that endangered species. The 4 new wolves could help inject fresh
Yo, did y'all hear that foxes are self-domesticating themselves? Off topic. I'm here for it. I love it right now. Love it. Foxes are self-domesticating themselves like cats are. How? Well, cats self-domesticated themselves in like early like hunter-gatherer societies because humans would store a bunch of grain and cats liked eating mice and other small rodents which liked eating grain. And so it was a mutually like beneficial process for cats and humans to coexist because cats would protect the grain but use that grain as like a trap source for other animals. And then the humans would obviously not lose as much grain. And so foxes are doing the same thing. Like foxes are more docile around humans. Sometimes they'll like walk up to you.
DNA.
And years ago they wouldn't do that. How? It's just over generations. It's the same thing with like, have you ever been in, like Japan, how deer, I wouldn't even say they're domesticated necessarily, but have you ever seen videos of Japanese deer that just don't give a fuck about humans? They're not like wild deer. They'll walk up to you in a park and you'll feed them out of your hand and they bow and they're chill. Like that, but on an actual like species level scale.
Into the red wolf gene pool, which currently suffers from a so-called genetic bottleneck, the result of too few individuals carrying too little genetic variety.
Show a video of... You can't show a video of the domestication of fucking foxes.
To keep the species healthy.
Yes, it would be...
Oh, show the deer? You've never seen the Japanese... Bro, we've watched videos on this shit. It's like all of them too. They're just like used to it, bro. They just act a part of the society.
Really amazing to see a mammoth. It would be great for the habitats of Tasmania to have a keystone predator reintroduced into that ecosystem. But the
Woolly mammoths are predators?
tools that we're developing
What the fuck do they eat?
on the path to these species.
The hell does a woolly mammoth eat? Now I need to look that up. Oh, the Tasmanian tiger. Oh, I thought they were saying bring back the woolly mammoth. I was like, does the woolly mammoth eat like plants?
Have immediate application to species that are not yet extinct. A future that is both biodiverse and filled with people. We should be giving ourselves the opportunity to see what our big brains can do to reverse some of the bad things that we've done to the world already.
There's a huge need to help prevent animals from becoming...
All right, geneticists, genetic people here, hear me out. Pocket shark. Hear me out. It's a shark that you genetically edit to fit in a bowl of water that you would normally have like a betta fish in. Pocket shark. And you could also use it as a self-defense mechanism. Similar to pocket sand, when somebody is running at you, you open your jar and you pull out your pocket shark and throw it at him.
We need to spend more money on conservation. Particularly now, there's a lot of threats that lands that we have as national parks and as preserves are going to be used for drilling oil, for instance. So there's a lot of habitats where species now live that are going to be under threat. So, and there's not enough money to help with conservation efforts.
Whether it'll be a next generation of dire wolves naturally is not yet known. These are not actual dire wolves, they're gray wolves with dire wolf traits. The scientists literally say as much when describing their process. Yeah, I mean, they're almost genetically identical though, which is what's basically saying like, hey, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference if you saw one in the wild versus in public. All right, next.